I really should try and figure out a better schedule of some kind, or a better way of notifying people. But I finally found out that Twitch's schedule thing has a cancel button. There. So, sorry about yesterday. Things came up, mainly my internet died. My internet was really bad yesterday, actually. I tried to figure out why. Wasn't anything on my end. I called up my ISP and they said, yeah, sorry, we're having issues. And I was like, okay, for how long? They're like, we don't know. And I was like, all right, cool. Bet. It lasted until, I'm not even kidding you, like 2 a.m. life without internet sucks, right? Like I have a ton of single player games, but I forget how bad life is without the internet. The internet makes the life, makes the life. Sorry, makes. I guess it is the life. Like it is. We only have one life. Well, some of us. Okay, I'm looking at you, Keanu Reeves, with your immortalness. Okay. But for the rest of us, the life is boring without good internet. There's not much that you can do without it. Even when I wanted to, like, just like, I don't know, like fix my website and like do other cool stuff with it or like add things, I can't even look up documentation. And I'm telling you right now, I don't remember enough to have all that information in my head. I need something to read, and even just music, dude. Okay, living my life without music feels like torture. There's no noise. I still don't understand. Some of you have told me that you go to the gym in dead silence. Like, dead silence. And I'm like, you sick fucks. Who works out in dead silence? What's wrong with you? But today, I was going to play some Baldur's Gate 3. But then while I was offline, I booted up one of my many downloaded single player games, which I have quite a few. This one, I played it and I was like, wow, it's really, really good. And for some reason, there's new stuff all of a sudden. I went on my mobile data, okay? Went online, read some notes. State of Decay 2 is still being updated. Also, as is Asterion in Idle Champions. I don't know if I talked about this yet, but I came on Steam, and then Asterion came on to me. There he is. There's our boy. There's our boy, Asterion. He is somehow. I didn't even know that Idle Champions is a D&D idle game. Okay, we're gonna play that next time. Okay, that's gonna be a good game to have on the corner. Because Cookie Clicker, I'm gonna be honest, there's nothing interesting about Cookie Clicker. When we do those weird, terrible like mobile streams, we need more dopamine hitting games. Okay, we need more. I need a lot more for the TikTok videos. All right. But today, specifically, I'm talking about State of Decay 2. Okay. If you don't know this game, this is like a really, really, I guess like oldish now. When did it come out actually? State of Decay 2. Was released for Windows and Xbox One on May 22nd, 2018. This game looks a lot older in general. But there's currently a new update up on their beta realm, the public test realm, which actually includes like random effects. This game, the best way I can describe it is, imagine, was it 14 days later, but like as like a roguelike or something. Like it's surprisingly a very fun roguelike that has a longer progression scale than like 30 minutes to like an hour. I think the progression scale is really roughly around like it could be anywhere between 1 hour to a couple of days depending on how you like play. There's a lot of really cool like things about this game that I really like. I'm surprised that it's not really well known. Yeah, although the studio is well known, Undead Labs. So just for context, they apparently had some sexual harassment case. Again, I've spoken about this before with the Linus Tech Tips thing. I don't know why when the companies get to a certain size, somebody always sexually harasses someone. What is going on? Okay, I don't understand. It's not that hard not to be an asshole, guys. But as far as I can tell, they've dealt with those issues. At least as far as I can tell, right? Undead Labs controversy. Let's just double check. Make sure I have my thing. Misogyny. Burnout and mismanagement. Okay, so it's not as bad. But misogyny, I mean, it's still bad. It's still pretty bad. But it's not as bad. But now, I mean, I'm assuming it's fine now, and they got rid of the bad actors. They're apparently making a State of Decay 3. So if you ever saw the trailer was just a person in the cold wilderness. And a deer that went, nah! And that was the entire trailer. apparently it's like years out from when the game actually releases. They pulled a Bethesda Elder Scrolls early trailer like deal, and it's interesting to think about because if you look at how Bethesda did it too, right? I think it was right after they got was it acquired by Xbox that Bethesda 2 also put out a trailer for The Elder Scrolls 6, which is also years out. I wonder if when you get acquired, right? They force you to release these trailers that you make. Like imagine in the far future when like stickthing.co, when like stickthing co, right? And we're on our like 7th game, and I'm like, dude, it's time to sell out. And I call up what's his name, John Microsoft. What's the guy's name? Who runs Xbox? Who runs Xbox? I know his name would sound sick. Yeah, Phil Spencer. God, Spencer's such a cool name. But imagine if I call up Phil Spencer, I'm like, hey, it's time, right? We do the contract. I convince him, and he's like, do you have a game that's being made in 8 years? And I say, yeah. He's like, good. Release the trailer now. Get hyped for it now. We got to make back those billions of dollars we spent on you. Which, to be fair, in Bethesda's case, I mean, they had to make back money somehow. And the best way of doing it is by just tossing them to the wind. In other news, there was the State of Play recently. So State of Play and the Nintendo Direct. There's a lot of good games. One, I didn't know that Bennett Foddy was making a new game. And that was the first time I saw the trailer on State of Play. But apparently the trailer was played a while back. It's been like announced a while ago. So we are going to play the Baby Steps game on stream eventually. Because that looks fun, okay? Getting over it looked frustrating. Baby Steps looks stupid fun. And I think it's because the moment that you add like a person that looks like they're drunk walking, that looked genuinely funny to me, okay? So we're going to play that. Resident Evil 4 is actually getting the DLC soon. The Separate Ways Ada campaign. So I've been slow at editing the videos, sorry. But I did play through that entire game offline. I'll be playing that DLC online on stream, okay? Because I just wanted to like play the actual main game offline because I wanted to see how scary it was, and I'm telling you right now, I'm close to finishing editing a bunch of things, and there's so many times I scream in that game. It's pretty funny to watch actually. But the Separate Ways DLC I'm very excited about because it seems like it's not the same story that's being told. So back when they rebooted the entire series with Resident Evil 1, it seems like they're taking the story in like a slightly different angle. I'm very curious to see how it goes. On top of that, there was a larger announcement specifically for PlayStation as well. Resident Evil 4 Remake VR. That shit looks terrifying. Listen, Resident Evil 4 Remake is already like very scary in like many different places, right? Near the end, it becomes like an action game, right? Near the end, you remember how campy and corny the entire thing is, right? And also how horny some of the characters are, right? But before that, it's genuinely a very scary game, right? Maybe not on the same level as like Resident Evil like 7 or some of the other RE games, but still very, very scary still, and the gameplay is at least a lot more fun from what they showed off in the VR. Dude, imagine doing the Krauser knife fight in VR, which was genuinely, it was a good knife fight. That's a hard knife fight. There's also other smaller games like Ghost Run 2, and Nintendo has a bunch of remakes of games like, you know, Paper Mario, Luigi's Mansion 2, which I think is just a remake of Dark something, right? Luigi's Mansion, was it the Dark something? Dark Moon or something. I'm assuming it's like that. Basically, there's a lot of games. Splatoon is also getting a single-player roguelike DLC, which, listen, I don't like Splatoon multiplayer because it's kind of like mindless. Like, it feels more mindless than like COD almost. You know what I mean? Which is strange to say. At least COD has like Twitch mechanics that like keeps you engaged. Whereas Splatoon, it's just like weird arcade game that I would rather just play on Gary's mod or something. But the single player stuff looked fun, and I in general I like the single player stuff more of Splatoon. There was a lot of games announced during State of Play and the Nintendo Direct that I don't really know what to do. My list of games, if I can find it, here we go. More gameplay. There's a bunch of games. Fortune's Run also releases in 2 weeks, which I'm looking forward to as well. If you don't know that game, it is an immersive sim. It is a mix of Deus Ex plus Ghost Runner. Like, imagine if you took Ghost Runner and you said, okay, let's just add like really crazy weird mechanics, like you can put things on fire and they spread. You know what I mean? Like, it feels very immersive. Good storytelling, very fun. I played the demo. My God, that game's coming out in 2 weeks. All of these games are coming out very, very soon. There's a bunch of DLCs coming out soon. Like, everything's coming out soon. There's a lot more that I found too in terms of like smaller games, like smaller, weirder, sort of like for fun games. Most of them indie games, but some of them also just like weird games that just got recommended on like Steam on my wish list, which my wish list is kind of massive at this point. And you may know, as a running theme on this channel, is we never really finish games, which is going to be a problem as we get further and further into this whole streaming thing, okay? Because at some point, I'm never going to be able to finish anything, and our VOD sort of like playlists are going to end up being unfinished. I just need games to stop releasing. We're not even done Hammer Watch 2. Like, do you have any idea how annoying that is to me? But I can't go back to it because there's so much stuff to play. And sometimes, like, my brain needs, like, a change in, like, dopamine. And the problem, too, is that the more roguelike games that release, right, the crazier and harder it is to finish games. Because they're specifically made to force you to keep replaying the game, okay? But there's going to be a lot more, like, smaller games, like visual novels and like stuff, because I really like them, okay? Just give me time, we'll get through them. But today, we're going to be playing some State of Decay 2. Just give me a moment to set it up.